And hi guys, this is Klazard. I've got Rise alongside me. We're going to be doing an exciting set of matches, and hopefully Diggity will be joining us as well soon. This is going to be Piano versus Canata. This is the OSL round of 16. This is the first set. And it looks like we've got Canata at the bottom right hand corner in blue, and we've got Piano in red. I know this isn't the most exciting of matches, but hopefully we see some good StarCraft from these players. Canata has been playing reasonably solid lately. He's had some high-profile wins. He's beaten Savior, although these days Hyuk beats Savior, so I guess that's not really anything to blast your bugle about. But hopefully he'll put in a good performance here. And I'm sure, and I know for a fact that Rise is a huge Piano fan.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about you, man, but I'm looking forward to some Piano playing. I don't know if we've done a lot of games of Piano. I know I've seen him play before. He's one of those players who's becoming more and more popular as time goes on. Well, I guess maybe not more and more popular, but he's playing more and more games anyway. But, you know, at least I agree. This probably isn't the most big-name game that we've done in a while. But yeah, you know, it could still be a pretty good game. We got Canata, who's actually a pretty decent TVT player with a 55% win rate, and Piano also has a 55% win rate against Terran players, with wins against such players as Frazian. Oh wow! But believe it or not, he's actually beaten Flash and Lita and Huashin and Sky High and and Boxer. I mean, he's beaten some big name players. Whereas Canata, on the other hand, you know, as of late, I don't think he's beaten any too big of name players. Let me see if I can find any real quick. But either way, you know, I'm kind of expecting this to be a pretty good game. Up Magic looks to be the only player that Canata has actually won against. Uh-oh, was that a spoiler? I don't know. But I don't know. Klazard, do you have any predictions here of which player may be able to come out on top?
Well, I have to be honest. I mean, Canata, he's been okay lately, but he hasn't been great. And oh my God, this is going to be horrible for Piano. He's chosen to fast expand, and Canata has built a forward Drax. And if Canata scouts this quickly, which he really should, Piano is going to be in a world of hurt. He's going to be in huge trouble because Canata building that advanced Drax, taking the refinery as well, and Piano has chosen to fast expand straight away. Only now starting up his Drax. So if Canata finds him, the only saving grace for Piano is that the positions are cross map, so it'll take a little bit longer for Canata to get around, and Canata building that factory as well. Piano is going to have to defend really well, otherwise he's going to be under a lot of pressure early on. So our predictions might go out the window. This is what happens. You predict, for example, Flash to win in every single game, but it looks like Piano has come down with a bout of Flashitis, deciding to fast expand on this map, and I'm not sure why you would do that. This is Byzantium, by the way, Byzantium 3 for those of you guys who are wondering. Fairly, well, I mean, the balance on this map doesn't really matter in a Terran versus Terran contest. And now those scouting units are away, the SCV circling around, the Marine heading first Marine heading cross map, second top right, and it's just only a matter of time. That Rax is just going to be complete, but the fact is that factory is going to be finished anytime now, so there are going to be vultures coming. I suspect Piano is going to be wanting to put down a bunker very soon.
Yeah, and you know the thing about this is, I mean, Canada's just going to be in a great position to control the flow of this game from this point on if he manages to pull off some sort of harass. I mean, it won't be long before Piano's back in this game, even with this attack. And oh, look at that! Using the SCV to aid in the attack, and he actually manages to take out the Marine quicker than he loses his, even though Canata's Marine was attacking first. But Canata going to continue to keep the pressure on, but one Marine against two is not going to go too far. So it looks like that bunker's probably going to go up. No! Actually, he takes out the SCV building, and unless Piano's got another one, he's going to be in trouble because the Vulture is on its way. He sends 4 SCVs to finish building that. Marine is not able to get there. The Vulture takes it out. That means Canada's going to be able to harass with that Vulture, and he is doing that. He's taking out SCVs very slowly, of course, because they have so many hit points. Marines continue to pop out, but against a Vulture and a Marine, they're not going to be able to do much damage. They're never even getting to the bunker, and that means that he's going to continue to bleed SCVs, red SCVs at that. So, I mean, Canata just doing a fantastic job of harassing, and this is definitely going to go a long way in securing his victory if he can keep this up. He's also got a starport going, and that's what I was talking about with controlling the flow of the game. He's actually going to force Piano to have to respond to that build. Piano finally taking out that Vulture, but at this time, there's going to be a Wraith coming out. He's going to have to respond to that from Canata. There's a tank on the way, and I mean, Canata is just so far ahead of this game. It's painful almost.
Yeah, I really don't see Piano recovering from this, because the Wraith is out now as well, harassing his economy. He lost a lot of SCVs as well as a lot of Marines in defending that, and he doesn't really have any Marines out right now to be able to combat that Wraith, which is what he's going to need. And pretty soon there'll be 2 raids out, and with the siege tank and a group of Marines knocking on the front door, Canada's putting some very, very heavy pressure on Piano's defense. Now a couple of Marines out, pushing that Wraith away, but the siege tank meanwhile hammering it with the bunker. Piano desperately repairing it with some SCVs. The one thing that Piano has obviously is he's got the 2 command centers, which allow him to pump those SCVs, but I really don't think that he had that long enough to get any sort of advantage, to get any sort of economy going in a decent position where he was able to sustain the sort of losses that he did sustain. Now he's trying to build an armory desperately to counter those raids, but a couple of raids now in play coming in. That first SCV is going to get taken out, and Piano pushing out brilliantly. He's got 4 vultures. If he can get in position behind that siege tank, I'm not sure if he's got spider mines, but he's trying to take that siege tank down with Marines as well, and the siege tank fighting a good running battle, retreating. He's got SCVs in support as well. One of the vultures gets taken down. That siege tank is going to go down. Brilliance by Piano, really great counter, and he's managed to secure his front. He's meanwhile struggling desperately to complete that armory, but Piano really doing a good job of defending this right now. Meanwhile, Canada's built a bunker in the middle of Piano's units, and Piano looks like he's going to circle around and perhaps head for that starport. Meanwhile, he's also building an engineering bay. I think he might have managed to complete that armory as of yet. So for now, Piano just about managed to hold his own, and those vultures can get into Canada's base. Canada's going to be in huge trouble. They're just going to run past that siege tank and harass Canada's economy. Canada's got a siege tank on the ramp, cleverly enough. A couple of Marines now coming in, just trying to buy time for the SCV to complete the armory. He desperately needs that armory up, and the armory is up. So Piano not allowing Canada to win as easily as Canada would have wanted to. Siege tank just holding those vultures off. One vulture goes down, and siege tanks and Piano needs to micro these vultures here and pull them back, as opposed to just getting the same vultures to absorb damage from the siege tank. And he hasn't really microed them. Canada with a couple more siege tanks now heading towards Piano's base, and Canada defends well enough in his ramp, and that attack comes to an end. So that should probably be enough to seal the game in Canada's favor.
Yeah, and you can see the look of defeat on Piano's face already. I mean, while he's managed to get a Goliath out, he's so far behind. He has nothing to fight against siege tanks. And I gotta say, those vultures surprised me. I didn't see them come out, and I didn't see the commentators even point them out. And all of a sudden, we see 5 vultures pop out. So it seemed like Piano was going to get himself back in the game, but he squandered them. Like you said, he didn't micro him against that single siege tank, and that single siege tank took out 5 freaking vultures. How ridiculous is that? And I mean, one of the things that we haven't mentioned is, you know, he's wasting money repairing. He's bleeding SCVs. He's behind on tech. I mean, there's no way that he's going to be able to get back into this match. And even repairing that command center as the siege tanks just shell it from afar, it's not going to be enough, and it's going to drain him even more. And Canata, now he's in a position where he can secure his own expansion. Looks like we have an SCV/Marine/Goliath attack trying to take out these siege tanks. Managed to get one. They're still in range to shell that command center, and it's clearly just not enough to stop the attack of Canata, and it doesn't look like he's actually going to have any tanks coming out anytime soon. And I mean, really, he doesn't even have machine chops. He's dedicated to vultures, so you know there's no chance that he can win this match. He can't get back into it in any way. He's going to have to try a desperate SCV drill, if anything. And even then, I don't think it's going to work out in his favor with the amount of tanks and how easy it would be to micro that. With only 2 Goliaths, there are the SCVs, the last line of defense, and they all get caught up. And GG coming from Piano. So say it ain't so, Piano. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to make it, and Canata is going to take that win, what looked to be very easily from Piano.
Yeah, there's a worrying trend going on in Pro StarCraft right now, Rise, and that is the spread of flashitis. It is like the bird flu of StarCraft, with 14cc builds going all over the place. It's spreading among these Terran players, and I don't know what the cure is, but we need to get them an inoculation for it soon. Otherwise, it's going to become a complete farce. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. We're going to move on to the next game. This is Clazart and Rise.